It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays!
Yes.
Whoa!
My favorite time of the year.
Ernie Johnson, do you like my Christmas hat?
Oh, yes.
Nice, isn't it?
Really
very
nice.
Here's Shaq. I love the sweater.
Well,
that
thank
is
you.
very, very impressive. And Kenny, you should have worn a shirt. I don't know. It's
I like
Christmas season.
my 8-pack.
Come
my 8-pack.
on.
Look
Yeah.
at it.
Pretty good.
Look at it.
Oh.
That's that
Pretty
vegan
good
diet
out
I've
there.
been eating. Tell you.
Tonight, we'll see the Los Angeles Lakers playing against the Golden State Warriors. Well, for the Warriors, coming into this matchup with no shortage of confidence, they won all 4 games against this team last season. And one of my favorite guys to watch, Draymond Green. He's so unique, Kenny. What do you most like about his game?
His intensity, his versatility, and his passion. The love for the game. And he can defend pretty much every position on the basketball court.
You know, for an undersized big man, I love his passing. Won't score a ton of points, but the offense flows better when he's on the court.
Let's send it down now to Kevin Harlan as we approach tip-off.
Welcome to a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day here on 2K Sports. We want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge. Special treat for our viewers this evening. The sports guy, Bill Simmons, is with us.
It's half of a special treat as Brent Barry is, but I'm going to do my best.
Brent Barry's pretty good,
He's
isn't he?
really good at stuff, yeah.
He reads you a lot.
Half a treat is better than a whole treat, right? I mean, come on.
Honored to be here.
The fans are making noise here inside the Oracle Arena for their Warriors. Very strong basketball is the recipe for them right now. 4 straight wins, looking for number 5.
Yeah, and the atmosphere in this building is incredible. And as that win streak continues to grow, the fans' excitement has grown right along with it. And now we've reached that point where it's considered a frenzy.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge out on the sideline. David?
Well, Kevin Durant is much improved as a defender, and maybe it's some overdue appreciation, at least as he sees it. He said, people are starting to recognize me as more than just a scorer. I've been trying to shake that rap since 2012. I look to impact the game on both ends of the floor. Kevin, back to you.
A two-way player to be sure, D.A. Thanks. The chemistry of this Warriors team so special, Bill. Klay Thompson's unselfishness and the fact that he just lets the game come to him, a big part of that.
Super unselfish, doesn't care about his shots. A beloved teammate by all counts. He's the guy that all the other guys mention first when they talk about, hey, what warrior, ... and it's Klay. The answer is Klay to everything. Who's the most fun warrior? Who's the craziest warrior? Tell me a funny story about one of your teammates. It's always Klay. He just has so many thankless jobs for them. A lot of times he's guarding the best player on the other team. He's guarded point guards at some point during every run in the playoffs for them. And just a great guy to have on your team. It's hard to imagine the Warriors without him. I think at some point maybe the salary cap will dictate they can't keep all 4 of these guys, and Klay is always the logical candidate to, you trade him, you turn him into 2 cheaper, younger pieces. But I'd
hate to see him leave there.
Well, and leave Curry, because the thing with him and Curry together, it's been such a unique combo to have 2 of the best 3 shooters in the league in the same team.
Yes.
Their stats now together are starting to just crush everything. Like, they've made more threes than any other player in the playoff
Isn't that
history.
amazing? Oh my
They've
gosh.
made, 600, 700 threes a year, and they're just doing things together that we've never seen. I hope they stay together.
Me too. Now let's check out our starters for the Los Angeles Lakers. We've got Montrezl Harrell. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Robertson. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Stevenson in at small forward. No coverage that time. Stevenson's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. And stolen by Harrell. Here's Robertson. He's covered by Thompson. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. In the corner, it's Stevenson. Clock at 6. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. Here's Robertson. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10 on difficulty, that's an 11.
Cook kicks to Thompson. Here is Cook. He's guarded by Schroeder. Cook, the pass to Thompson. And not going to go. He misses the first attempt on the night. And before the ownership changed in 2010, the Warriors franchise really staggered.
Yeah, they staggered to the point that in 2012, I wrote a long column for Grantland about, it was like the 60 reasons you can't blame the Warriors fans for booing their owner on Chris Mullin night. And I went through their whole history since they won the title in '74 of just all the horrible things that happened to them, all the dumb moves they made, all the dumb trades, all the things they never should have done. It was extensive. And after things flipped around, people mail me that article all the time, like, can you believe it? We've won 3 titles in the last 4 years. You just wrote this. Feels like yesterday. And it was. It's one of the most amazing turnarounds of any franchise I can remember.
I'm assuming you're a fan of their front office.
Yeah, very, very smart. But, you know, the pieces were there. When they bought the team, everyone thought they overpaid. And not to toot my own horn because I've been wrong a million times, but I was one of the only people who didn't think they overpaid. I just felt like that market was awesome. I loved their fans. It was in the heart of Silicon Valley. It made sense that they should be a juggernaut, you know, and they had never really had good ownership. And as we learn over and over every year at the Knicks, like, owners matter. They just do.
That free throw good from Lance Stevenson. And so he hits both. Warriors trail by 5. Cook kicks to Durant. Over Stevenson. The shot, no good. And the Lakers going the other way now. This game against Golden State is the first time they've met this season.
2 division rivals facing off tonight. They'll see one another 4 times this season.
Now here's Durant following the miss by Lance Stevenson. Durant finds Thompson. That's good, and a nice assist from Durant. Kevin Durant, an MVP, multiple championships, but he continues to add new wrinkles to his game and takes pride in that part of his game.
Yeah, last year was the two-way play and the defense in the first 2.5 months of the year. They faded off. That whole team, I think, got tired. I asked some of the Warriors about it last year, just why did they get tired when, you know, it wasn't like 17 was that grueling. They kind of rolled through the league. But I think it's just day-to-day, the bullseye being in the spotlight. Every arena you go to.
Best punch every game.
Yeah, you're out into Charlotte. It's the highlight of Charlotte's season to play you, and I think it does wear those guys down. I think the next step with him would be, can he evolve into a stretch 5? What could he be, Al Horford basically, and take all the Draymond minutes when Draymond's not playing and just be the other 5?
How many stretch 5s are in the NBA? Can you count them on one hand, or think of them?
It's the Al Horford, and there's not many. But, I mean, a 7-foot guy who's one of the best, 8 shooters of all time is your stretch 5.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Can Jokic shoot the 3? He can kind of.
Yeah.
He's got an outside shot, doesn't he?
Unfortunately, Jokic stretches the other team's point total when he's out there. So he's a stretch the other team's total to 120 defender.
Here's Thompson after the basket by Montrezl Harrell. And it's Durant, that time on the assist by Thompson.
KD defines efficient catch-and-shoot players. Perfectly timed there. Great rhythm off the pass.
Schroeder kicks to Cousins. Kicks it out to Stevenson. And Durant sends it back. And he gets it back. Cousins against Bell. Cousins, no good.
And getting a hand in the shooter's face, locking down that in-between area.
Just taking on the challenge on every possession. I love defenders who give nothing away.
And how about the communication between teammates on that alley-oop?
And that's what you need to pull that thing off. And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Havoc. And that one's good. Schroeder.
What a nice-looking shot from Schroeder there. Caught the defense off guard with the beautiful floater.
The Warriors have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. And there's the call on Durant. That's his first foul. Dwight Howard's checked in for DeMarcus Cousins. Schroeder, left side. Back to Howard. Feeds to Harrell. Clock is at 3. Here's Schroeder. It drops for his third basket. He's missed only one shot.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Bill, we've seen the NBA take steps to amend the draft lottery. Any further changes that you might recommend?
The biggest thing I would do is I just don't think you should be able to finish in the top 3 2 years in a row. I think there has to be some sort of schmuck insurance for the rest of the league. I'm fine rewarding the one bad season, but when you're just continuously bad, the year that Cleveland, when they won the lottery 3 out of 4 years, I just thought that was a travesty.
Just didn't feel right, did it?
No, it's just wrong. There's 30 teams in the league, and you have a team that really blows the LeBron James era and just surrounds him with the wrong people, and he leaves, and then really can't stay out of its way for the next couple of years, and they just keep getting the number 1 pick. I don't agree with that. I think that's bad. I also thought it was bad that Philly was able to get number 3 and number 1 in back-to-back years, and it's bad that the Celtics were able to get the 3rd pick and then the 1st pick.
Right.
So that would be the one thing I would do. I don't think it should. I don't think you should be able to successfully fail for multiple years.
And so it's Iguodala. He'll bring it up for Golden State. They trail by 3. And again, it's the Warriors missing. For Los Angeles, they've gone 6 of 13 from the field, just under the 50% mark. That one goes in. Beasley's got his first bucket of the night.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Now here's Green. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Clippers.
And guys, the other thing that he did well was just facilitate the offense, pass the ball around beautifully in that one, seriously put on a passing clinic. And I ask you, what can you do? This guy is a phenomenal decision maker.
Pass to Beasley. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And it goes on Draymond Green. The Lakers have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
And that one misses. And some changes here for the Warriors. Jerebko comes in for Green, and it's Patrick McCaw in for Cook. Rajon Rondo's checked in for the Lakers. He doesn't get the second one. Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree. But for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. Mm-hmm. If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to talk.
Well, you challenge people, which is that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And you got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it. Yeah.
So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk, and we did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Here's McCaw, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Now here's Beasley. Last game he had 12. Here's Howard. Good D by Bell.
Well, from our angle, that looked like that was going in. But defense, fantastic how they contested it.
Iguodala outside. Pass to McCaw. Thompson from long range. Rebounded by Howard.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Rondo looking around. To the paint. It's tipped. Howard's shot is good. Howard's got his second basket of the game.
A soft touch there from Dwight. Gifted at measuring those interior shots.
Iguodala kicks to Jerebko. He dishes it to Thompson. And it's Thompson with the jam.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Yeah, it's funny how you see so many picks, but this one sets up the defense well. No one rotates over. Bang.
Here's Beasley following the score by Golden State. We've got 1:23 left to play in the first. Thompson outside. Howard with the steal. And here's Rondo. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Now the pass to Kuzma. Here's Beasley, and he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Lakers lead by 3.
Artful passing on that play, showing a real desire to set up the teammate.
Iguodala against Kuzma. Here's McCaw. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Bell, and the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him. The Warriors shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And looking at the numbers this season, they're shooting a robust 82% from the line. That's about as good as it gets.
Evans, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And Los Angeles making a change here as well.
One shot.
McGee's checked in. That one drops. He ties it up.
And a jack-of-all-trades kind of player. Bell reminds me of a younger Draymond Green, a prospect on the rise.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Now here's Rondo. Defense is right there. And Robertson has it in the corner. Here's Beasley. Down it goes. His third basket. He's now 3 for 4.
And it's just been an avalanche of points here in the early going.
Yeah, for both teams, we're seeing great synergy on offense, but some lackluster defense.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Lakers ahead, leading by just 2. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. Kevin Durant talked about his teammates and about the Warriors roster, the envy of every team in the league.
I like our depth. I like that we could play, we could play big, we could play small. we can match up with a lot of different teams. And it's just a matter of us going out there and playing consistent basketball. It's easier said than done. But we like who we are right now. We just got to continue to keep getting better.
You know, Greg, KD has a lot of help with his team.
And that's why he signed with the Warriors. But even with all their talent, you can bet Durant is going to be leading the charge.
And welcome back as we continue our Christmas Day matchup. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here. What have they been doing or not doing?
Aggressive defense in that first period. They forced several miscues.
Well, you just start to wonder, how did we get to this score at the end of one? I think those steals really established momentum in their favor.
They've got Bell, Jonas Jerebko out there with Iguodala, and it's McCaw in at the 1 spot. That's the Warriors 5. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Draymond Green is a former Defensive Player of the Year, and he remembers his motivation. They said I fell in the draft because what position would I guard? I'll never forget that. I'm comfortable guarding any position. When I'm playing against big guys, I battle even harder. You have to prove a point. I won't be a pushover. Kevin?
Yeah, he never backs down. Thanks, David.
Orchestrating right now, Rondo should be playing with a baton.
Bill, several of your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. And, you know, it turns out,
I think they embraced the
Yeah,
size.
I think they did. They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilet or bring on an airplane or whatever they want to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that, honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Wilt Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they played together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Wilt Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that made me want to write the book.
First free throw is good. Kevin Durant's checked in for the Warriors. Quinn Cook comes in for Andre Iguodala. And then for the Lakers, Cousins comes in for Michael Beasley. Lance Stevenson subbed in for Robertson. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Warriors trail by 4. Passes it to Jerebko. Evans dishes to Cook. Kicks to Jerebko. Buries the long-range jumper. Jerebko's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Well, in this day and age, big men shoot more and more three-pointers, and he's fully capable of a triple.
Down low, Cousins. Durant with some nice D.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Last outing for Golden State, they won that game against the Clippers. Kuzma passes to Stevenson. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And there's the call on Durant. That's foul number 2 for him.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
And the Warriors making a change here. Green's checked in. And so it's the Lakers with it. Stevenson kicks to McGee. Rondo on top, defended by Durant. Just 4 to shoot. Now the feed to Cousins. And he comes up with the deuce. And the Lakers lead by 3.
That's a high percentage shot there, especially for Cousins. Just a nice touch inside.
Cook, the pass to Green. Here is Cook. He's covered by Rondo. Cook, good.
Got to give a ton of credit to the screener there. That was a perfect pick to give his teammate the space to knock down the shot.
Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
the three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade in those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision in LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
Here's Evans, following the basket by DeMarcus Cousins. It's tipped. Rondo with the steal. Throws it up high. McGee's shot is off. Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new facet, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now. And I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. And I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew how, Paul Pierce, who knew how to handle their business. And now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old, and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all. And you had these guys who, if you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old giving, long interviews to reporters. It's like, how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's
impressive.
already good at being a bad interview.
He's
he doesn't say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Unbelievable. Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles, Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for JaVale McGee. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Kyle Kuzma.
He was able to tie it up, but he has to be disappointed that he could not give his team the lead.
And here we are, the Warriors' final season in Oakland, Bill. They'll be moving to a brand new arena across the bay in San Francisco.
Yeah, bittersweet. I'm excited that there's an arena downtown, and the Oakland-San Francisco thing was always weird to go to Warriors games, drop in, figure out where to stay, all that stuff. On the other hand, I thought they had the best crowd of anybody.
I agree.
For years and years there, just like very blue-collar, old school, fans that have been coming for years.
Stuck with them even in the lean times.
Yeah, the lean times were every year.
Right.
They had no year other than lean times. And now that the team got good the last 6 years, you could feel the audience changing a little. And now it's changing a lot. I just miss the Oakland fan base, and I hope, once we expand to 60 teams or 70 or wherever we're going, I'd like to see Oakland get one of the 70 teams.
Well said. Cousins finds Harrell. 5 to shoot. Here's Rondo. Los Angeles with another miss. And it's Evans with the ball. He'll bring it up for Golden State. Inside, here's Cook. The basket good off the assist from Evans. And it's a 4-point Warrior lead.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Rondo dishes to Schroeder. Kicks it out to Stevenson. Over Evans. And that one's good by Stevenson. Stevenson's got 7.
Yeah, great execution there. The turnaround, such a difficult shot to defend.
Cook looking it over. Outside Durant. Some nice passing by Golden State here. And another basket for Golden State.
Yeah, he's had bad first quarters before and has dug himself out. Here's another one tonight.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Stevenson kicks it over to Schroeder. Back to Stevenson. Over Evans. That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Stevenson.
Yeah, not a good idea to leave him alone. He'll make you pay for that mid-range.
Cook, the pass to Evans. Here's McCall. He feeds it to Durant. On the wing, Stevenson. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Well, the great ones can do this. When Durant gains an advantage inside, you know he's going to score or he's going to get fouled.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Kevin Durant at the line for 2.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him.
With the amount of pressure Durant puts on his opponents, it's typical to see him among the leaders in free throw attempts.
Andre Iguodala is checked in for Golden State. Klay Thompson comes in for Patrick McCaw. Dwight Howard's checked in for the Lakers. Beasley comes in for Rajon Rondo. And both free throws good for Durant.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Thompson against Schroeder. Pass to Harrell. It's Beasley on the wing. Over Cook. That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut down now to just 2 points with that basket from Beasley. The Warriors have gone 8 of 12 since the start of the second quarter. That's a really high percentage, hitting around 67%. And then Durant with the jam.
Ooh, that play was nasty. Durant showing how aggressive he can really be.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
And therein lies the trick, discussing ways to be aggressive, but not committing turnovers.
And now you see the 2K leaderboard. Not only have these teams caused a lot of turnovers over the last 10 games, but they've scored off them as well. The Lakers #1.
Just a terrific job over this stretch of forcing turnovers and capitalizing. They'd love to continue that trend.
Schroeder finds Stevenson, and Thompson sends it back.
Well, Klay is a very good positional and on-ball defender, but him getting to a block shot like that, that's impressive.
Cook, the pass to Durant. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. And it's a 6-point Warrior lead. Beasley outside. Pass to Harrell. Back to Beasley. Shot clock at 6. Schroeder surveying the floor. The shot, no good. Warriors leading by 6. To the middle. And Andre Iguodala with the slam.
Well, I think KD getting more and more used to this off-ball movement of the Golden State Warrior offense and finds his teammates for cuts.
Now here's Beasley. 10 points for him. It's It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
And you could try to key in on him, but that's tough. They run plays that routinely give him makeable looks.
Green kicks to Iguodala. To the inside. And it's Durant missing. Lakers trail by 6. To the middle. And Beasley gets it to go on the assist from Stevenson. Beasley's got 8 points in the quarter.
Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
Cook dishes to Durant. Stolen by Stevenson. Bill, what a pleasure to have you with us. Great as always to hear your thoughts, your commentary. I hope you join us again soon.
I'd love it. Anytime, Kevin. Tell me.
Thank you. And Brent, always cool, isn't it, to hear what Bill's thinking? He comes at things from a variety of angles.
Yeah, the pop culture stuff and the bits from personal life and his interaction around the game. He certainly has a passion for basketball, and it's great that Bill's adding some color to the audience's experience.
Brent, has there ever been a player who scores more easily with less effort than Kevin Durant?
Well, I know this, Kevin, that Kevin puts in a ton of work to make it look as easily as it does. There's just nobody that can match up with KD. And when he's playing like this, he gets out into the mid-range and starts to hit a few shots. Watching him be on fire for a night is a treat.
The free throw drops for Durant.
And just a much better job of attacking and getting to the line here in the second quarter. Didn't have a single attempt in the first.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Brent, Montrezl Harrell out of Louisville came into the league as an energy player, but he can score as we're seeing in bunches.
Well, I think with starters minutes, he might give you a few 20-point nights, but mostly his impact has been huge with energy and effort coming off the bench, in constant motion around the rim, and a great finisher as well.
That's good from Harrell.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
He's perfect from the line this time. The Warriors' Steve Kerr, the fastest coach in major American sports history to 250 wins. Brent, he gave all the credit to his players. But you talk about what makes him special.
Well, I think Steve just really timed it right in terms of when it was he was going to approach the next phase of his life, waiting for his children to be in a good place, waiting for him mentally to be in a spot where he was going to take over a talented team and put his imprint on it. His experience in Phoenix in the front office, teaching him about what it takes to move players around and make trades. Just a proper approach and the proper timing for Steve to take over a basketball club, and then to bring all of what he learned from Greg Popovich and Phil Jackson to the table, along with a lot of his own. And I think Steve thought long and hard and prepared himself on a lot of levels about what the job was going to be for him. We've seen that play out rather nicely in the last few years.
Here is Cook. He's guarded by Schroeder. The pass to Durant. 3 seconds left. He doesn't hit that one.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for the Golden State Warriors. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points. He dictated the pace of the entire quarter. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Draymond Green. Draymond, big front court on the other team. Was the game plan to make them adjust to you?
Absolutely. We know their size is what they were going to bank on. pull them away from the rim a little bit. We were able to knock some shots down.
You look comfortable, and they did not. Thanks a lot, Draymond. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Kevin Durant was on fire in the first half. He had 18 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 block. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
They obviously came in wanting to push the action. And so far, so good. They're looking to get easy transition baskets because the other team is not getting back on defense.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on the Lakers?
Well, I didn't even know who some of these guys were, but their bench came up with some big shots, gave the team a lift offensively. It's always possible guys will see more minutes in the second half, but at the same time, you're a starter for a reason. We shall see, Ernie.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter is set to begin in just a few.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. What a game we're seeing from Kevin Durant.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, he has been dominant as we expected coming into this one. Skilled and relentless.
Warriors leading by 5. Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. Taking a look at the Lakers. Robertson is out there with Dennis Schroeder. Then there's Harrell. Then it's Lance Stevenson. And it's Cousins in at the center. No problems knocking that one down. Green's got the lead up to 8 now for the Warriors.
Oh, he doesn't shoot it all that well, but when he does knock it down, it's demoralizing for a defense.
Harrell kicks to Stevenson. Up top, Cousins. Over Bell. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. 6 points here for Cousins.
I like that recognition. Effortlessly getting his teammate the ball in a spot where he knows he can do something with it.
Thompson finds Durant. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got 4 assists in the game.
Well, Kevin Durant over the past couple seasons has been in the top 5 as the best mid-range shooters in the league.
Now here's Harrell to the left side wing. Robertson the pass to Cousins. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Cousins has got 8.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, it's like 4 teenagers at home over the summer, just not enough activity. You've gotten your rest. It's time to man up.
And that one, good. And that's now 11 points for Klay Thompson.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Back to Schroeder. To the middle. It's tipped. Stevenson with a clean look. That one off the back iron and out.
No doubt disappointed with that one. He'd love to have that one back.
Yeah, I'd put that play on repeat. The setup was perfect. Just need a better result next time.
Here is Cook. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. In the corner, it's Stevenson. 6 on the shot clock. From deep. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Something the NBA has tested out in the G League, Brent. Coaches
the idea of making sure that the handkerchief matches the tie is a great idea.
Only you would say that. Only you would say that.
I'm just worried with some of the casual styles in the NBA that it's not going to be accessible. But
I think you're right.
I think it's going to happen, and I think it's going to be interesting for the league. But it's going to happen.
Anything to make these coaches do more, make more decisions.
Make more decisions and make decisions that you know can impact whether or not your team wins the basketball game or loses it. Because after a referee makes a determination that you think might be the other way, or they don't look at a replay where you're sure and certain that you could get possession, I'm reaching for the hanky.
For Los Angeles, they have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. Both shots good from the stripe.
Well, the Warriors returning to San Francisco next season after 48 years in Oakland. That new arena in Mission Bay getting finished up, polished up, fresh paint. It's looking good there. Hopefully it'll be just as rocking as Oracle Arena has been for this many years.
Durant, and he hits the jump shot. Durant's got 22 points.
He's a heady player. He knows how to get himself going and giving his team a real advantage right now on the offensive end.
Schroeder dishes to Cousins. Over Cook. That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut back down again to 6 with the basket from DeMarcus Cousins. You know, Brent, some wondered whether they'd change their name to the San Francisco Warriors, like before. They're going to stick with Golden State.
Yeah, too much history, I think, in Oakland. They don't want to do anything to disturb the fan base. This is the Bay Area's team, and you mentioned it. It does have a history, Kevin, starting off back in San Francisco in the 60s, and they become a powerhouse. It seems even more fitting to claim the entire state, the Golden State Warriors.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Evans, he's checked in for Durant, and it's Patrick McCaw in for Quinn Cook. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Rondo's checked in. Lakers trail by 6. He kicks it to Robertson. Lakers passing it around. Back to Cousins. That's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. A chance to check out Los Angeles' upcoming schedule. On Thursday, they continue the road trip, heading out to Sacramento to take on the Kings. And then on Friday, they'll be playing against Lou Williams and the Los Angeles Clippers.
And it's going to be home game after home game after home game for this group. So they got a great chance to string together a number of wins given how strong they've been playing.
Warriors leading by 6. Green with the ball. He's picked up by Cousins. Thompson with the bucket.
Well, looking to shoot immediately off the pass, and I don't think he even felt the leather that time.
Rondo finds McGee. Down low. And Kuzma gets it to go on the assist by McGee. Kuzma's got 4 points now in the quarter. Here's McCall. To the inside. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by McGee. With this break, we have a chance to break down where the assist has been coming from tonight between the front and back court for Los Angeles.
And their guards have been the ones to really set the tone here tonight with their ability to create shots. You talk about the big fellas. They love to play with guards who try to keep them involved offensively.
Now, here's Thompson. He's got 14. Over Rondo.
Well, a good defender, the wingspan and timing Rondo has on defense sometimes can be disruptive.
The drive by Cousins. Passes it to Robertson. Just 5 to shoot. Ball's knocked loose. To the paint. Cousins against Bell. Cousins inside. Second chance shot, and they call the foul. So he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Shot's good. Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high-percentage looks from inside.
You know, as dominant as DeMarcus Cousins is, he has a tendency to get in his own way and take himself out of games.
Well, we talk so often about other players in the league taking the offseason to improve some of their weaknesses within their game. I feel like DeMarcus Cousins in the last 3 years has matured immensely and has been much more in control of his emotions and his approach and maybe finding a new home. There have been some strides in DeMarcus Cousins and his demeanor that I think he should be very proud of.
The big changes in defensive rules happened right in the middle of your playing days. How did people initially react to those?
Well, a lot of guys had 3 quick fouls, Kevin, because they're out hand-checking and pushing guys around. And they say, what do you mean I can't do this anymore? I get paid to push guys around. But after a little while, obviously, guys stepping off and understanding positions on the floor where you could get away with more physical play than you can out in front with point guards, obviously, and having refs' eyes on them or down on the block.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
And therein lies the trick, discussing ways to be aggressive but not committing turnovers.
And now a quick review at the numbers for Klay Thompson. Averaging 21 points per game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And impressive numbers, no doubt. It's the kind of run we've come to expect from him.
Synergy, all elements right now working together, and the game is coming so easy right now.
Now, here's Green. He's got 6. On the wing, it's Iguodala, guarded by Kuzma. Green inside the three-point line, and again, it's the Warriors missing. And Cousins kicks to Kuzma. And Robertson has it in the corner. Pass to McGee. Over Green. The shot's good from McGee. McGee's got his first 2 points.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Kuzma against Iguodala. Thompson for the triple. That's good. It's his 7th made basket in 14 tries.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, and then the fear sets in that you're going to create driving lanes that could lead to easy buckets. This is not an easy fix.
Green passes to Iguodala. To the middle, Jerebko. And then Jerebko with the dunk.
Good anticipation there from Iguodala, who is a very good passer.
Outside Rondo. Pass to Kuzma. And that one goes long.
I'm just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
And stolen by Cousins. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, the league has unveiled a 5-point plan to improve player-referee relations. Things became heated last season with a lot of star players ejected for arguing with officials. The emphasis on respect and clear standards of conduct on both sides can only help. Kevin?
Very good point, David. Completely agree. Thanks. Now Rondo. After the missed 3 from Klay Thompson. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's McCaw. He's covered by Rondo. McCaw kicks to Iguodala. Clock at 6. And the pass to McCaw. Goes up at the stripe. That one's not going to go. And the Lakers going the other way now. Puts one up from 19. Rondo, no good.
And usually that mid-range jumper finds the bottom of the net. Defense has to be more aggressive moving forward.
Green finds Thompson. Out to the wing. The shot's good from Jerebko. Jerebko's got 8 points.
Yeah, some situational awareness there from Klay Thompson. He understands the offense. He understands where the cutters are, and he finds one.
McGee in the high post. To the inside. Here's Thompson. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Klay Thompson, another one of those sons of former players. I wonder what that's like. Michael Thompson, his dad, the #1 overall pick many years ago. And Klay had the ball in his hands, obviously, at a very young age, and he taught the shooting form to Klay, which looks pretty perfected at this point.
And the Warriors making a change here. Cook's checked in. And despite all the encouragement from his father, Klay said he didn't envision a pro career until late in college.
Well, he certainly wasn't a top recruit coming out of high school. So here's a little trivia for you, Kevin. Alongside Luke Walton and his father, Big Red Bill Walton, Klay and Michael Thompson, the only father-son NBA duo with multiple titles apiece. I just got one.
Yeah, it's a good time to talk things over. Try to stop what's been a brutal run.
Yeah, he's got to use every device at his disposal at this point, and I think he wants to give other guys a breather right now.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Look at the Lakers. Quite a season they've assembled here, guys. Perched up there in first place and playing terrific basketball game in and game out. And, of course, the Golden State Warriors, just a couple spots back.
And for the Warriors, they look like a team on a mission. We knew coming into this season that they were going to be one of the teams to beat. They've done nothing to change anyone's mind about that.
The only people whose minds have changed are the people who said they were going to have a down year. There is no one left saying that.
Clock is at 3. Here's Rondo. Los Angeles with another miss.
And with him missing literally everything he's put up today, you can see why the score is what it is.
Iguodala, the pass to Cook. Golden State moving it around. Kuzma against Iguodala. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Thompson for 3. That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala. Iguodala's got 4 assists in the game. Rondo kicks to Beasley. Stevenson outside. Stolen by Thompson. Inside, Iguodala takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Iguodala's got 7 points in the game. Lakers trail by 16. Los Angeles calls timeout.
Yeah, Klay Thompson, such a perfect fit on the Warriors. A versatile defender, can score playing off the ball, and just plays the game the right way.
Some changes for the Lakers. Harrell comes in for Kyle Kuzma. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Rajon Rondo. It's stolen by Green. Kicks to Cook. Lays it up off the glass. Cook's got his third basket of the night.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Beasley up top, defended by Jerebko. Can they get it? And it's Beasley laying it in. Beasley's got 16.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
Here is Cook. He's guarded by Schroeder. From deep, Green. No good. And the Lakers going the other way now. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Inside, and Harrell slams it in.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now, here's Thompson. He's got 23, and the shot goes in. Thompson's got 25 points.
Well, his offense should come with a warning label, caution, flammable. He's connecting on everything. The D looks dumbfounded.
Here's Schroeder. He has 7. 11 seconds left in the third quarter. 6 to shoot. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And never quite sure what Schroeder is going to do there. Fantastic at forcing the D to hit him while he was shooting that one.
For Los Angeles, they have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
The potential Schroeder has is pretty exciting. Such a lightning-quick point guard.
Schroeder hits them both. 5 seconds left to play in the third. 1 second left, and that shot was up in time but doesn't go in. Klay Thompson has been leading the charge for the Golden State Warriors. He delivered 9 points from three-point range that quarter. Terrific work from distance. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And a moment ago, inside the huddle with head coach Steve Kerr.
Getting there. The ball's moving. Looks more like us, all right? Good to great. We're getting some decent ones. Let's get some great shots now.
Well, preaching how important it is, Greg, to take quality shots.
I mean, he doesn't want to settle for average shots. He wants his team to get in the habit of taking great shots.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Thompson and Durant, the deadly shooting wing pair. Jonas Jerebko out there with Bell, and it's Cook in at the point. So that's the group out there for Golden State.
Oh man, caution, flammable.
That is just nasty.
How about the athleticism on that finish?
He kicks to Jerebko. Durant against Howard. To the paint, 5 on the clock.
On the pick and roll, you almost have to play Durant to shoot, but his ability to create opportunities for others is also elite.
Stevenson outside, down low, and Harrell slams it in.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful 2-hand jam. Cook kicks to Jerebko. Passes to Durant. Connects on the 17-footer. Durant's got 24.
Putting on a clinic tonight, Durant can use either hand to break you down off the dribble.
Thompson against Stevenson. Puts up a three. He can't get that one.
Not a whole lot going down for him at this point. He just can't buy a break.
Pass to Cook. Kicks it to Jerebko. Back to Cook. Trying to get open is Thompson. It's Durant on the wing. Pass to Cook. Shoots over Schroeder. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And here's the fast break. The pass to Harrell. Over Jerebko. And it's Harrell missing.
Pretty surprised he missed that shot. The defense was decent, but not really a factor.
Thompson for three. Rebound by Harrell. Harrell's got his fourth rebound in this one. Here's Beasley. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got his third assist on the night. Warriors leading by 12. Outside Durant. In the corner, Cook with it. The three-pointer is right on target.
Failure to extend the defense, not going to get you back in this game.
Yeah, it's just a big mistake against a great shooter. It feels like they've just completely lost their focus.
Los Angeles calls timeout. And KD opting out of his deal, Greg, over the summer to re-sign with the Warriors.
And he did so to get a larger deal than he could have otherwise. Durant had already sacrificed money for the team before. Not a surprise to see him get closer to his value. Seems the super team will be intact for years to come.
And the Lakers making a change here. Robertson, he's checked in. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, Luke Walton was just talking about strategy with his team. He got on him. He said he's got to see more intensity. He said we've put ourselves in this hole, and we've got to work our way out of it. Show me you've got what it takes, guys.
Thank you, David. 4 on the shot clock. It's stolen by Bell. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for the Lakers.
DeMarcus Cousins.
Lakers trail by 15. Schroeder, right side. Cousins finds Schroeder. Back to Cousins. Schroeder against Thompson. Just 5 to shoot. A 3 ball. He can't get that one to fall.
Well, he's gotten shots up, but they're not finding the rim. The squad's suffering because of it right now, a bit out of rhythm. Well, the D looks like they're laying off just a little bit. He made 1 3 in the first half, but they're still daring him to shoot, and he can't make them pay for it.
Here's Schroeder. And again, the Lakers no good.
I tell you what, the spin move did more than just confuse the D. Looked like he's a little woozy on that off-balance attempt.
Outside Durant. Sinks that one from the post. Durant's got 4 points in the quarter.
With that unique ability to absorb contact on the drive and not let it affect the shot, Durant proving once again how tough a guy he can be.
Schroeder passes to Cousins. Here's Robertson, defended by Bell. Back to Robertson. Now the dish to Harrell. Over Urebko. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Green, he's checked in for Urebko.
Draymond Green.
Here is Cook. He's guarded by Schroeder. And Thompson kicks to Durant. Yep, it counts. Durant's got 10 points here in the second half.
Well, this might be a KD special here. Everything dropping early here, and the defenders already slouching.
Harrell with it inside to stop the drought, and no problem from Cousins as he finishes at the rim.
Well, fantastic awareness, finishing with ease at the rim, and the defense was just not a factor.
Thompson outside. To the inside.
That is not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to throw an alley-oop from that kind of distance.
And then to dunk it with authority. Wow. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Schroeder against Green. Inside. And Harrell slams it in.
Absolutely the prettiest play in basketball, executed to perfection.
I don't think you'd get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop. Cook, the pass to Thompson. Passes it to Durant. Tipped away and stolen by Harrell. To the inside, Robertson, and the dunk by Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson rising up and stretching out a bit to throw one in.
And it's Durant with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Golden State Warriors. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. It's good from long range.
And certainly, they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
Robertson kicks to Harrell. Back to Robertson. Takes a three, and Thompson sends it back. Clock at 6. Harrell finds Cousins. In the corner, it's Stevenson. Off the left rim and out.
That's like milk on a hot day, just a bad decision. Absolutely no reason for him to be taking those shots.
Here is Cook. He's guarded by Schroeder. Back to Durant. Launches it. The rebound by the Lakers.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Schroeder passes to Cousins. Stevenson inside the three-point line. They get it back. And it's Harrell missing. Warriors leading by 18. There's the three. And Durant gets it to go. The assist from Cook. Cook's got his 7th assist here tonight.
Well, he just nailed his second three of the half, guys. I'd be very aware of that if I were the defense right now.
Schroeder dishes to Stevenson. He kicks to Robertson. Back to Stevenson. Pass to Cousins. Lets it go from 14. And it falls over the rim and in. Cousins has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Now, he's put on a shooting display here in the second half. He really seems to be in a great groove right now.
Back to Cook. Golden State moving it around. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
At the line for the Warriors, Quinn Cook. He has 2.
And the first one drops. Brent, they're always trying to make the All-Star game itself more competitive. Is that an important thing to do?
I don't think overall it's important to do it, Kevin. I mean, it is an exhibition, but I do like the attentiveness of the players over the past couple of years talking about how it is they want to approach the game. It ends up being a high-scoring affair with a lot of highlights, but overall, it's not the most important thing for the weekend.
And he makes the first, but misses the second. Well, there's a lot of talk, too, Brent, about the age requirement for entering the draft, and Commissioner Silver has said it's a clear change that's probably on the way. What do you think the league should do?
Can you and I talk about a guy that you know quite well who in 1995 came out as the
17-year-old? I know
in
it.
the NBA draft? Kevin Garnett came into the league and handled himself extremely well. Now, for every one of those stories, we know there were other ones where guys did not make much of their NBA careers.
But then here comes the G League.
The G League, to me, is the huge key.
That's the equalizer.
A lot
isn't
of these guys have a ripcord now for some of those things that transpired over the course of the last 30 years, where they can have a softer landing point to continue to develop, to continue to mature, and have an opportunity to make something of their NBA career.
Excellent explanation. Cook kicks to Durant. Green against Harrell. Thompson in the corner. Inside.
A game like this is showing the world just how unique the skill set is of Jordan Bell.
And here is Los Angeles now. Now Schroeder, an open look for Stevenson. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got his 7th assist in the game. Here is Cook. We've got 1:55 left here in the fourth quarter. Green against Harrell. Durant for 3. Sinks the triple. Durant's got 40 points.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Yeah, and making them. Once you get into this kind of rhythm with the 3 ball, it is so difficult for the defense to do anything about it.
The shot's good from Robertson.
Well, I like watching Robertson get involved in the offense, especially when he gets down there. Nice soft touch down on the inside.
Cook, the pass to Durant. And Durant gets double teamed. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. You look around the NBA, amazing players, global interest, franchise values are going through the roof. Do you feel like the league is entering a golden age if it's not already in a golden age?
I think it is, Kevin, at least offensively. What we've seen over the last 5 years with the adoption of most of the teams of the three-point shot, it's been some of the greatest offensive basketball the league has ever seen. And this idea that the evolution of the game stopped when it is at number 23 retired is kind of silly. I love where the game is at. I love where it's going. And I'm excited to be here tonight to watch this action with you.
Which number 23? We've got 2 pretty prominent number 23s in the history of this game.
I was thinking the
most
one
recent
I played
23?
against. Yeah,
oh,
that
that
guy.
23.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
And saving their best for last. Tremendous run here to seal the win.
And you could just see everything coming together like a perfect storm, and they just rolled on through.
Evans, he's checked in for Golden State. And then for Los Angeles, JaVale McGee's checked in for Cousins. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Andre Robertson. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Dennis Schroeder. And it's Rondo with the ball for the Los Angeles Lakers. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Stevenson outside. Lets a floater go. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
This is where you got to put a body on the guy. His will is incredible down on the interior, fighting and clawing for every rebound.
One shot.
There's 25 seconds left to play in the final quarter, and they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
Evans outside. Here's Thompson. Here's Green. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
And you can tell they're ready to start celebrating a well-deserved victory here tonight.
Yeah, you can see the fans. They've already started celebrating themselves. A gutty performance.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Andre. I know if you could bottle a game like tonight, you would. But what's the key as you look forward to these upcoming games?
The key is just not letting all the outside distractions, get in the way of letting us do what we want to do. So we got to come in, play tough, and guys will be ready to play.
Great performance tonight, Andre. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.